We are now going to be looking at immovable assets, so buildings. Right, so a couple of important things before we start jumping into immovable assets, guys. You need to keep these rules nice and separate from your movable asset rules that we studied. So your section 12Cs, your section 11Es, your wear and tear sections. Make sure, guys, that you pay attention to how it is used, what it is used for. Is this a factory building? Is it an office building? And so forth. Okay, so the first one is section 13, and section 13 applies to buildings which are used in the process of manufacture. Now, if you process of manufacture is like a factory building. Now, guys, there's all sorts of different rules in section 13, different rates, 2%, 10%, and so forth. Please note, per your Psycho ITC exam pronouncement, you are only required to know the 5% rule. Right, if they want you to use a different rate, they will tell you that this building qualifies for the 2% or 10% rule, whatever the case might be. In order to qualify for the section 13 allowance, the building must have a cost. So, same as with some of these we've seen so far, if the asset does not have a cost, so for example if it was donated to you, then you cannot claim a allowance on it. Please then remember, guys, we always fall back to section 11E, the wear and tear section, but remember that's not available for immovable property. So if a building doesn't have a cost, there's just nothing that you can get for it. Please note that this building must be used wholly, so 100% or mainly more than 50% for the process of manufacture. So if you have a building, and sometimes we see buildings like this, they might have a factory portion, and at the top of it they might have offices. This factory portion must be 51% or more for this building, then the entire building will qualify for this allowance. If it is not, then the building does not qualify for this allowance. So if the offices were, let's say, 51% and the factory 49%, then it doesn't qualify. Then you'll have to consider other allowances if there are. Right, please note, you do not apportion this allowance for the year. And please note, there is a special recoupment rule under section 13.3, which you will study separately under recoupments. Now, this allowance is available to the owner of the property. If was used wholly or mainly in the process of manufacture, that's what we just discussed, 50%, more than 50% for factory building, or if you let it out to tenants who uses it wholly or mainly in the process of manufacture. So please understand, guys, as long as the factory building is being used in the process of manufacture, then you can get this allowance as the owner. You don't have to do it yourself. You can be renting it out to someone else, so you'll then be taxed on the rental income, but you can still claim the allowance. Please note, if a person leases the asset, so this is the lessee, and they make an improvement on the property, that will qualify for section 11G as a deduction. Section 11D is the G is the leasehold improvement deduction. But how that section works is it will tell you, let's say in the contract the lessee agreed to improve the property at a cost of R1,000,000, but the lessee's actual cost is 1.2 million rands. Then only this will qualify, the lower amount for this section 11G. The excess amount, 1.2 million minus R1,000,000, that will qualify for your building allowance. Okay. You'll see this also when you look at questions around leasehold improvements. And then please be aware, section 12 capital N might also apply. It's a separate section for you to study, but section 12N in a nutshell says, if you are the lessee of this property and you're leasing it from the government and you make improvements, we'll treat you as if you are the owner of the property. So basically you can claim it then as well. Now we're looking at section 13quin. Section 13quin applies to commercial buildings. Now guys, commercial buildings are buildings which are used for your business. So like an office building or a warehouse. It is not buildings that are used for process of manufacturing. However, if the building does not qualify for section 13 because it is used mostly as offices, you can then still claim on that portion basically your commercial building allowance. Okay, but not too common to see that. But here we go, commercial buildings. There shall be allowed to be deducted from the income of the taxpayer an allowance equal to 5% of the cost. Can you guys see? Cost, there must be a cost to the taxpayer of, very important, any new and unused building owned by the taxpayer, right? Or any new and unused improvement to any building owned by the taxpayer. If that building or improvement is wholly or mainly used by the taxpayer during the year of assessment for the purposes of producing income in the course of the taxpayer's trade, other than residential accommodation. Right, so they're saying if you're using it for your trade, doesn't have to be a factory building, but then it qualifies for this allowance if it's mostly used for it. So here where it's 51%, guys, this whole building here, you will give the section 13quin allowance to. Okay, because of that, because it's more than 50%. And it is 5%. So it works the same if this building had a cost of R1,000,000, you get an allowance of 5%. Right. Please note, guys, you can see there's no apportionment. They also tell you, you get this if you make an improvement to the building. So if I now later go and I say, okay, and now I want to improve the building and I add an extra 100,000 rand, that 100,000 rands will qualify for the allowance. Right, that tells you also here, if you have an improvement contemplated in section 12N, that will be treated as the cost to the taxpayer. Now again, this is if you are the lessee. If you're leasing from the government. Don't worry about that now, guys. That is the principle that applies in all situations in section 12N. So what I'm trying to say to you is it's not special to section 13quin. So for now, I want you to focus on the special sections. 2. For the purpose of this section, the cost to the taxpayer shall be deemed to be the lesser of the actual cost to the taxpayer or the cost the person would if he had acquired, erected or improved the building under a cash transaction concluded at arm's length. So again, guys, lower of cost market value. Right? No deduction shall be allowed under this section in respect of any building that has been disposed of by the taxpayer during any previous year of assessment. In other words, thus, you must use it for the first time. And while I'm on that, let me just go back. Please remember, guys, it must be a new and unused building as well. Right, so you can't buy a second-hand building. You must be the first person to use it. You can buy a building that is second-hand, but which has recently been improved. And those improvements are new and unused. Then you can claim on those improvements. You'll see in a little bit. No deduction shall be allowed under this section in respect of the cost of the building or improvement if any of the costs has qualified or will qualify for deduction as a deduction or an allowance under any other section of this Act. So they're saying you can't claim more than one deduction, right? We already have a section that tells us that, section 23B though, although that relates to section 11, but basically the same situation. The deductions which may be allowed shall not exceed the amount of such cost, okay? So again, you can't claim more than cost, that's fine. Now guys, look at the next one. If you acquire a part of a building, without or erecting or constructing that part. So this will be, here's a building. Let me actually do it a little bit different. I'm going to do the building still, but a little bit bigger. Right, so here's the building. it has 5 floors. They subdivide this and you buy the top floor of this building and you spend 1 million rands of it. So you didn't erect it, you just bought a part of the building. You can then claim 55% of the price if you buy a part of the building. So million times 55%, that's what they mean there. That times 5% you can claim. Or, and this one is not very common, guys, 30% if you're buying an improvement. Okay, so what does that mean? Here's a building, second hand. Can you claim this allowance? No, you can't. But now, before you buy it, the seller improves the building. And what the seller does is he says, okay, I'm selling this building to you. The price is, let's say 10 million rands. And basically what that is broken down as follows. It's 8 million rands for the building and 2 million rands for the new improvements. Now, in a situation like that, when you get to this allowance, right, on the building, so let's just call this 1 and this 2. On number 1, there will be no allowance because it's not new and unused. And in number 2, you'll say 2 million times 30% times 5%. Now sometimes, guys, and in reality this is a bit more often, they will not give you this breakdown like this. The seller will just say, I've improved the building and now I'm selling it to you. If they do it like that, guys, right, if they do it like that, then obviously this is not applicable. If they do it like that, same story. So you just need to use whatever they give you in the question. But not common at all to see that. So here it's just broken down, so I want you to pay attention. Here's if you do it yourself, so you buy a new, you build a new building or you improve the building, you just say 5% of cost. If you buy the building though, that's where the story comes in. If you buy the complete new building, or, right, 5%. If you buy a part of the building, 55%. If you buy an improvement, 30%. Right, please also then note, guys, this section came into play after the 1st of April 2007, and you can go and look in section 13quin after the main act or main sections of the act. There's small little writing underneath, you can go and find it there, but 1 April 2007 is when this rule came into play. So if the building was erected before then, you can't claim it. If it was erected after that, new and unused, you can claim it, subject to all of the other rules we've looked. And again, you have to be the owner. Right, so even if you are leasing it out to someone, then you are using it in your business, as long as it's not for residential accommodation, because they specifically tell you other than residential accommodation. But so if I'm the owner of the building, I'm renting it to you, you're using it for offices, I can still claim the allowance. You are going to pay me rent, I'm going to be taxed on it, you can claim the deduction for the rent paid. Right, so everybody gets what is due to them.